Can you share some of your personal out-of-body
Sure,
experience?
sure. I don't know where to begin because I've had many. Actually, my first one was when I was 12, and since then I've had many, many, many. Let me actually even talk about the first one, which is very much related to computers and programming. I got my first computer when I was 12, and at that time they didn't have a hard disk or anything, but it had just this basic programming language and the most basic of them all, very rudimentary, very, very old. So I had the habit of coming from school, thinking about what I was going to program in the computer. And because it didn't have a hard disk, I would spend, and I couldn't record the program, I would spend, first of all, some 20 minutes before turning it on, thinking about what I wanted to program and play with. So that on that specific day, I became sleepy. I went to my bed, I took a nap, and then maybe because it was more of an intellectual activity, as I was sleeping, I became aware after a while that I was again staring at the monitor with my hands on the computer, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me, it hit me. Didn't I go to sleep about 20 minutes ago? And then when I turned around, because the computer was actually in my bedroom, when I turned around, to look in my bed, I saw my body there napping, basically sleeping. And it surprised me a little bit. This brought, my body immediately back into the physical body, and I woke up immediately. I didn't become scared. It was just a surprise, really. I was startled by that. I really wasn't expecting it. But it was very clear in my mind that I was outside my body. I didn't have a name. I couldn't at that moment. I didn't know the names astral projection or out of body experience or unfolding or mystic voyage. None of that. I just remember I woke up and I was thinking, wait a second, I know I was there, but I was here, but I was there, but I was here. And honestly, I didn't understand what had happened. Because I was 12, probably at that moment, somebody called me to go play baseball or something, and I completely forgot about that until I had another one, maybe like a year later. They weren't too frequent at the beginning, but then afterwards, the frequency of them started to increase, especially once I started to read more about out of body experiences, techniques and accounts from other people. And I started practicing it a little bit more regularly when I was in college. And then now, in terms of my experiences, I've had experiences in other dimensions. This is always a very interesting topic with other people. These are very interesting. I certainly would suggest to beginners, to try to have these types of experiences where two people leave the body, two physical individuals leave the body, and you meet outside the body, and you have a common shared experience. And this is interesting because it takes away the subjectivity of the experience. It's no longer just your experience, like a dream that is always going to be only ours, but it's actually something that we are sharing with somebody else, and then there is confirmation. So those experiences are also very interesting. So those types of experiences as well, experiences of flying around, experiences of meeting relatives that have already passed away, the spirit guide, as I was mentioning, going to higher dimensions, and also dimensions that are a little less developed, let's put it that way. Also, those are interesting. So really, after a while, you start to accumulate a wealth of experiences that changes the way you see life, the way you see reality, I should say.